Hi everyone, welcome to this workshop, Learn the Basics of Google Drive, presented by Manlius Library in partnership with Grow with Google. I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Stephanie, the Outreach and Volunteer Librarian here at Manlius Library. In this video tutorial, I'll talk you through a few ways to keep your Google Drive neat and organized. This workshop is divided into modules. During each module, I'll demonstrate a step toward keeping your drive organized. Let's get started. Google Drive is an online location where you can safely store digital files that you create, share, use, and download. It's a digital storage space that's included with your free Google account. Let's take a few moments to talk about how we store documents. Before computers, if you had an important paper document that you wanted to keep safe, like a resume, you might place it inside a folder for safekeeping. Then you'd put the folder into a filing cabinet with all your other important documents. That filing cabinet might hold hundreds of paper documents. Computers allowed people to start storing our documents digitally. Each digital document is called a file. To keep that digital file safe, you can give the file a name and then save it. For years, people put their digital files into folders on their computers, then moved the folder onto a disk or removable drive for safekeeping. Now the internet gives us a way to keep all our digital files safe and secure without any physical storage device at all. This means you can store your resume or any other digital file on your Google Drive, which is a storage system based online in the cloud. You can access your Google Drive from any device connected to the internet. As storage devices have gone down in size over the years, the amount they store has increased even more drastically. Google Drive takes up no physical space, but you can use it to store any and every file you've got. Google Drive is free to users and comes with your free Google account. If you have Gmail, you have a Google Drive too. With 15 gigabytes of free storage, you can store all your digital files on your Google Drive, which is safe and secure. So let's imagine that digital resume. If you start in your Google Drive, you can access it from your smartphone, home computer, work computer, or even a friend's device. Here's the best part. Files stored on Google Drive won't get lost, even if your computer crashes. And the projects you create with Google applications are all stored automatically on your Google Drive. You don't have to remember to click Save. Okay, our first step is to sign into your Google account. To begin, sign into your Google account. This slide shows the Google account sign-in page, which displays your email address and a field that says Enter your password and a button marked Next. Signing in is a bit like unlocking the door to your home. It's a process that makes sure that only you can access your Google account. Open a new tab in the browser window and go to google.com. If you are not signed in, click Sign In. Enter your username and then enter your password. In this module, you'll open your own drive and take a look around. First, I'll show you how to do it, then try it yourself. Here's how to access your Google Drive once you've signed into your Google account. First, open the Google Apps menu icon on the upper right side of your screen. This menu will show you a list of Google Apps. Scroll down until you find Google Drive, then click on it. Your Google Drive icon may not show up exactly where this one is, so keep scrolling until you find it. Click on it to open your Google Drive. On this slide, the Google Apps menu icon is circled. The menu is open and the icon for Google Drive is highlighted. Now it's your turn to open your Google Drive. If you don't have any files or folders in your drive yet, it will look like this image. If you do have files or folders, you'll see them inside the drive. This image shows a blank Google Drive with the text. You can drag files or folders right into the drive. Now, let's go on a quick tour. If you created projects in Google applications, such as Sheets or Docs, they'll all be stored here. Let's take a quick look at some of the main features of your drive. We'll be going over most of these areas in detail a bit later. This area is where your files and folders will be stored. You can click any of these folders or files to open them up. This New button is what you'll click to create a new file or folder. This menu on the left side gives you quick options for sorting through your files. The search bar allows you to search for a file or folder by typing in words from its title or from the file itself. In this module, you'll create a document in your drive. Then you'll give your doc a title and type a sentence in it. You'll use this document to learn how to keep your drive neat and organized. From your Google Drive, you can create a new Google Doc. Google Docs are text-based documents. You might use Google Docs to write a resume, take notes, or write a story. To create your Google Doc, click the New button in the upper left corner of your screen. A menu with some options will open. Click Google Docs. In this screenshot, the New button next to the big plus sign is circled. Clicking on it opens a menu of options you can create. Google Docs is circled. Clicking on Google Docs opens a new blank document. You'll want to give your doc a name so that you can find it later. This slide shows you how to update the title of your document by typing it into the field at the top. Click on the upper left field on your screen where it says Untitled Document. Then type a new title. It can be anything you choose, but a name that describes the content of your document will be most helpful. If you don't know what to title it right now, just type in Sample Document. Your new document can contain any information you want. You might make a document containing a favorite recipe, an agenda for a meeting, or a family newsletter. Type a sentence or two inside the doc. You can choose any words you want, or even a short random sentence or song lyrics you like. Whatever you type will be saved automatically. You don't have to do anything to save your work. Now it's your turn to create and title a Google Doc. Then type a few words into it. This slide shows the title of the doc circled and text being typed into the document. To create your Google Doc, click New. A menu with options will open. Select Google Docs. Retitle your doc by typing your title in the upper left corner of your doc. Type a few words or a sentence into your doc. The words you choose aren't important. Just pick ones you'll remember in a few minutes. Maybe song lyrics or a line from your favorite poem. In this workshop, we're going to explore ways to keep your Google Drive neat and well organized so that you can find the files you need when you need them. In this module, you'll open your own drive and create a document and folder in your drive. Once you've created a file and folder, you'll be able to see what your Google Drive can do and begin to understand how to keep yours organized. Remember, your files will be saved automatically, so you don't need to do anything to save them. Navigate back to your Google Drive by clicking the tab that shows your drive. Your next step is to make a folder by clicking that same New button from before in the upper left corner of your browser. A menu will appear. Now select Folder. You'll be prompted to give your folder a title. Type in a name for your folder. If you can't decide on a name, just type something like My New Folder. Then click Create. This slide shows how to create a new folder within Google Drive by clicking the plus icon, selecting Folder, and typing My New Folder in the name and field. Now it's your turn to create and name a folder. First, click New to open the menu. Next, click Folder to create your new folder. Type a new name for your folder. Imagine you have hundreds of documents inside your drive. You'd need to organize them to easily locate the files you wanted to access. But how? The same way you'd organize digital files on your computer, desktop, or in a filing cabinet by using folders. In this module, you'll learn how to move files into folders by moving your dock. In this step, you'll move your file into the folder you just created. Click on the icon of the file you want to move. Hold down your mouse or trackpad button as you drag the file into the folder. The file should disappear from view. Double-click the folder and it should open up to reveal your file inside. Now it's your turn to move your dock into the folder. Click on the file and drag it into the folder. The structure of your drive is truly up to you. You can create as many folders as you want and fit other folders inside of them. Think of a chest of drawers. If you need to put on a pair of socks, you look in the sock drawer. If you need a t-shirt, there's a drawer for that too. But if you just throw all your clothing into the same drawer, it takes a bit longer to find what you need. Google Drive works the same way. You decide where you want to put everything, and it's up to you to decide what organizational structure will work best for you. Here's one way you could structure your drive. You could have 3 main folders visible when you open it. One folder for work, a second folder for personal projects, and a third for household or family business. Inside your work folder, you can have subfolders for each of the major projects you're doing at your job. Or you could create subfolders for each work client. Those folders would each contain files related to that particular project or client. Inside your personal projects folder, you could have one subfolder for each personal project you were working on. Your family household folder could contain one subfolder for your household, budget one for your family vacation plan, and another for home repair. Don't stress too much about the structure of your Google Drive right now. You can always make changes to your folders later and move around files in whatever way makes sense. For now, think of 2 or 3 main categories for the documents you'll need to organize in your drive. These could include work, family, home, job search, recipes, or anything else you can think of. Now, take a moment to think of 2 or 3 main categories for your documents. Don't spend too long thinking of the perfect categories. You can always change the folders later. Create each folder the same way you did at the beginning of this video. Click New, select Folder, then type a name for your folder. Repeat this process for each new folder. Having bright colors on your folders can make it easier to quickly find the folder you're looking for. In this module, you'll learn how to add colors to your folders. Color coding your folders will help you easily find them at a glance. To choose a color for your folder, right-click or Control-click on the folder. A menu option will open. Select Change a Color. A menu of color options will appear. Click on the color you want. As you add more folders to your drive, choose a different color for each one. This way, when you open the drive, you'll be able to quickly identify the folder you're looking for. Now it's your turn to add color to at least one of your folders. Right-click or Control-click on the folder. From the menu that opens, select Change Color. A menu of colors will appear. Click on the color you want. There's a great way to make it easy to access the files and folders that you know you'll use often. Just add a star. Adding a star to a file or folder will move it to the starred section of your drive, so you can find it quickly. You may want to do this with files you open every day, like current work projects. In this module, you'll add a star to a file or folder. To add a star to a file that's already open, just click the star icon next to the file's title. Now, let's talk about how to star a file or folder from your drive. First, right-click or Control-click that folder, then select Add to Stars. Once you've done that, you'll be able to select Starred from the menu on the left side to see all your starred files and folders. Now it's your turn. First, right-click or Control-click the folder, then select Add to Starred. Once you've added files and folders to your Google Drive, you'll be able to arrange and rearrange them in any way you want. For example, you might realize you have enough files of a certain type to create an entire folder just for them. If you have a recipes folder with 20 recipe files inside, maybe you'll want to divide those folders into folders titled Dinner, Lunch, Breakfast, and Dessert. To move a folder, first create a second folder. From Drive, select New, then select Folder. You'll be prompted to name your folder. Type in a new name. Don't think too hard about this. You can always name it Second Folder for now. A second folder has been created in your drive. Now move the new folder into your first folder. Click and hold your mouse button down on your new folder, then drag it to the second folder. Moving a file works the same way. Just click and drag it into any folder. Now it's your turn. First, create your second folder. From Drive, select New, then select Folder. Type in the name of your new folder, and a second folder has been created in your drive. Now move the folder into your first folder. Click and hold your mouse button down on your new folder, then drag it into the second folder. After you've created folders, you're not stuck with them. You can rename a folder at any time or even delete them. So if your needs change, you can either change the names of your folders or get rid of the folder entirely. You can change the name of the folder to create. Right-click or Control-click on the folder to open the menu. Select Rename. Type in a new name for your folder, then select OK. Now it's your turn to practice. Rename a folder or delete, then restore a folder. To rename your folder, right-click or Control-click on the folder to open the menu. Select Rename. Type in a new name for your folder, then select. If you no longer need a folder, you can get rid of it by deleting it. You may also find that you no longer need a folder. To save space, you can delete folders. To delete a folder, click on one of your folders and drag it into Trash on the left side of the screen. You can move any files you no longer want into trash the same way. Another way to move files or folders to the trash is to right-click or Control-click on them and then select Delete. Once you move a file or folder into trash, it will remain there for 30 days, at which point it will be permanently deleted. You can also empty your trash anytime to permanently delete its contents. If you delete a folder, you'll delete all the files inside. So if you decide to delete a folder, be sure to move any files you may want to keep out of that folder before you delete it. If you decide you don't want the folder to be deleted, click on the trash to open it. You'll see your discarded folder inside, along with other files and folders you've trashed. Right-click or Control-click your folder. It will open a menu that gives you the option to restore or delete forever. Select Restore. Now it's your turn to practice. Rename a folder or delete, then restore a folder. To delete your folder, drag one of your folders into Trash on the left side of the screen. To restore your deleted folder, click on the trash to open it. Right-click or Control-click then the folder and select Restore. In a perfect world, you'd always keep your Google Drive perfectly organized and know exactly where to find all the files and folders you'll need. But who lives in that world? One of Google Drive's best features is the ability to find any of your files or folders using a search tool. You can search for files using the file name or even by words or numbers that are included in that file. So if I'm looking for a spreadsheet that contains information about my monthly budget, but I can't remember what I named that file, I can try searching for the word budget. I can also search for words that I know are included in that spreadsheet, like rent or groceries, or even a number amount that I know has been typed into that file. Navigate back to your Google Drive by clicking Drive in the upper left corner of your screen. Remember how you wrote a sentence or two of text into a doc at the start of this workshop? In this module, you're going to search for that document. There is a search bar at the top of your screen. It says Search in Drive. Type in one or more words from the sentences you wrote in your doc. Then press Enter or Return on your keyboard. You'll see a list of files that include the words you searched for. Your doc should appear on the list. The screenshot shows a Google Drive with the word News typed into the search bar. Now it's your turn to search for your file. Type in one or more words from your doc into the search bar at the top of your drive. Then press Enter or Return. Drive allows you to share files and folders with anyone so that you can collaborate. For example, you can share a Google Doc with your family to compile a list for family recipes. You can create a meeting agenda, and everyone who plans to attend the meeting can add agenda items or discussion topics. You can use a Google Sheet to keep track of shared expenses with roommates so that you can each pay your share every month. You can share access to a file or even an entire folder. The people you share with won't need to download or email new versions each time they work on the shared files. If anyone makes a change to the file, those changes will be saved automatically, so the file will always be up to date. This kind of digital collaboration helps people work and communicate effectively, even if they are in different locations. To share access to an individual file from your drive, right-click or control-click the file you want to share. Select Share. This will open the Share menu. Type in the email addresses of the people you want to share your file with. Then click Done. Now that you've typed in the address of the person you want to share your file with, choose what type of access to give them. First, click on the Editor button to open the menu. Editor access allows them to make changes to your document. Commenter access allows them to leave comments that you'll be able to see in your document, but not change the document itself. Viewer access allows them to be able to read the document, but not make any changes or comments. If you want, you can type a note for the person explaining what you'd like them to do with this file. When you're done, click Send. The person you just invited to share your file will receive an email letting them know that they've received access and a link to the file. Now, try sharing a file with someone. You'll need their email address to do this. Right-click or control-click the file and select Share. Type in the email address of the people you want to share your file with, then click Send. Now, let's talk about how to share access to an entire folder. When you share access to a folder, the people you share with will be able to open all the files within that folder. If you want to share all the files contained within a folder, the process is similar to the one we just went through for sharing individual files. Select a folder by right-clicking or control-clicking it. Select Share. A Share menu will open. Now type in the email address of someone you'd like to share the folder and its documents with. If you want to share with more than one person, type in multiple email addresses separated by commas. Now that you've entered in the person's email address, choose whether to give them edit, comment, or view access. Type in a note to explain why you're sharing this folder with them. Then click Done. Everyone who you just invited to share your folder will receive an email letting them know that they've received access and link to the folder. Here's an optional activity. Share a folder with someone you know. You'll need to know their email address. Here's how. Right-click or control-click the folder you want to share. Select Share. Now type in the email address of the person you want to share the folder with and click Done. Choose the level of edit access to give this person, editor, commenter, or viewer. If you like, you can add a note. Then when you're ready, click Send. A screenshot shows the Share with People and Groups pop-up box with the 3 access options. Editor is circled. Now let's talk about how to see files and folders that have been shared with you. From your drive, click Shared with Me. You'll see the files and folders that others have shared with you. You'll also see the person who shared it and the date it was shared. If at any time you want to switch back to the view that shows all the files you created, just click My Drive. Now it's your turn to see the files that have been shared with you. From the menu on the left side of the screen, click Shared with Me. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed this video presentation on organizing your Google Drive. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos.